call to order the special council meeting for Monday, October 30th, 2017. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Maldonado.
Present.
Walker.
Present.
Vasquez.
Present.
Garcia.
Present.
Orange.
Present.
Perez.
Present.
Medina. Monroe. Francisco.
Present. Can I have a motion to accept the minutes for the public hearing and regular meeting on Monday, October 9th, 2017?
Mr. President. Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilman Perez. Do I have any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call.
Maldonado.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Garcia. Orange. Perez.
Yes.
Medina.
Yes.
Monroe.
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes. Do we have any communications from the mayor?
No.
Any communications from department heads?
Yes. Accounts payable warrant 100617CC.
So moved, Mr. President.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Vasquez, seconded by Councilwoman Orange, to accept accounts payable warrant 100617CC. Any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call.
Maldonado.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Garcia.
No.
Orange. Perez.
Yes.
Medina.
Yes.
Monroe.
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes.
Accounts payable warrant 101017CC.
So moved, Mr. President.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Walker, seconded by Councilman Monroe, to accept accounts payable warrant 101017CC. Any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call.
Maldonado.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Garcia.
No.
Orange. Perez.
Yes.
Medina. Monroe.
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes.
Accounts payable warrant 102317CC.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Orange, seconded by Councilman Monroe, to accept accounts payable warrant 102317CC. Any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Maldonado.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Garcia.
No.
Orange.
Yes.
Perez.
Yes.
Medina. Monroe.
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes.
Accounts payable warrant 102317LA.
So moved, Mr. President. Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Vasquez, seconded by Councilwoman Walker, to accept accounts payable warrant 102317LA. Any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Maldonado.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Garcia.
No.
Orange. Yes. Perez.
Yes.
Medina. Monroe.
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes.
Accounts payable warrant 103117CC.
So moved. Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Orange, seconded by Councilman Monroe, to accept accounts payable warrant 103117CC. Any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call.
Maldonado.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Garcia.
No.
Orange. Perez.
Yes.
Medina.
Yes.
Monroe.
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes.
Accounts payable warrant 101817CC.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Orange, seconded by Councilwoman Vasquez, to accept accounts payable warrant 101817CC. Any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call.
Maldonado.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Garcia.
No.
Orange. Perez.
Yes.
Medina. Monroe.
Yes.
Francischi.
Yes.
Payroll warrant bi-weekly 100617.
So moved, Mr. President.
Second.
I'm sorry, who seconded that? Oh, Councilman Monroe. A motion was made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilman Monroe, to accept payroll warrant bi-weekly 100617. Any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call.
Maldonado.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes.
Orange.
Yes.
Perez.
Yes.
Medina.
Yes.
Monroe.
Yes.
Francischi.
Yes. Do we have any committee reports? Councilwoman Orange?
We did have a finance committee meeting last Thursday. So that if there was any questions about the budget, they could be answered. So there were a few council people here, and I guess they got the questions that they wanted answered.
Any other reports? Have any board reports at this time? Madam Clerk, do we have any ordinances on first reading?
No.
Any ordinances on second reading?
No.
Any ordinances on third reading?
Yes. Ordinance 17-0023. Ordinance or resolution for appropriations and tax rate sanitary district.
So moved, Mr. President.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilman Perez, to hear ordinance 17-0023 on third reading. Any discussion on the motion? Councilman Garcia?
Mr. Don, any changes since our last reading on this ordinance?
Steve Dalton, Council Financial Advisor. No changes. This is the exact same ordinance that was advertised and the same ordinance you've been looking at for the sanitary district since then.
Madam Clerk, roll call to adopt ordinance 17-0023 on third and final reading.
Maldonado.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes.
Orange. Yes. Perez.
Yes.
Medina.
Yes.
Monroe.
Yes.
Francischi.
Yes.
Ordinance 17-0025. Ordinance and resolution for appropriations and tax rates, Civil City.
So moved, Mr. President.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilman Monroe, to hear ordinance 17-0025 on third reading. Any discussion on the motion? Councilman Garcia?
Mr. Steve Don? I know you made some recommendations on reference to this the Civil City here. Which one was the one you needed for the city budget?
So let me just clarify for everyone. The budget ordinance that you have in front of you is the original advertised budget from the mayor. There have been no changes made to this budget. Were you to desire to make any changes, you would need to do so. I provided a couple examples of motions that could be made. Three of those, I believe, were general fund related. And I would await your motions if you want to make changes to general fund items that you've discussed in the past.
Councilman Garcia?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to add line item to Common Council Department 14001 for other services and charges entitling education and services in the amount of $27,000.
This would go in the general fund, Common Council Department, $27,000 for other services and charges, which is a 300 series entitled Education and Travel.
That was a form of the motion, Mr. President.
We have a second? Second. Motion was made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilman Medina. Put in put in a change, I'm sorry. Councilman?
Yes.
And it was 14001, I believe?
For all the services and charges entitled Education and Travel in the amount of $27,000.
Have any questions on that? Councilwoman Orange?
Where's the money coming from?
The money would be coming from the general fund, from your department, the Common Council Department. All general fund revenues come from either property taxes or miscellaneous revenues to the city.
So in the meeting, when they were talking about taking it from the law department, you don't have to take it from the law department because we have it in our own budget.
No, that's not true. If you want to stay below the total advertised general fund amount, you'll need to make a counterbalancing cut somewhere else in the general fund. So and you have not made any cuts yet, so now you will have pierced the total by $27,000 with this first motion.
Councilwoman Orange?
Well, I am against the travel budget. Several years ago when we took the travel out because State Council said we could no longer have the stipend money and it was added into the council people's salary. We've been on CNN, Tom Joyner, for the $42,000 that we made when Councilman Battle was in the news every day. I just don't think that, I think that we have enough money out of our own salaries to travel if we want to. I'm against that. I just think it's something that should not be put in at this time.
Any other questions? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Maldonado,
Yes.
Walker,
No.
Vasquez,
No.
Garcia,
Yes.
Orange,
No.
Perez,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Krasinski.
Yes.
Mr. President, I got a second motion.
Councilman Garcia?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to reduce legal services line item in corporate counsel department 108,001 from $1,300,000 to $773,000 for a total reduction of $527,000.
Second. Was a motion Garcia, seconded by Councilman Medina for line item 108,001. Any questions on the motion? Councilwoman Orange?
Did we ever get the list of possible lawsuits that are in the law department?
I am not aware that you have received that list.
But we don't know how many is out there.
We do not.
Councilman Garcia?
Mr. President, just to inform you and the rest of the council, matter of fact, this whole council, a lot of people on this council asked for information in one of our meetings, and none of us received the information that we asked for. And that was part of the information we wanted and we never received.
Councilman Medina?
By making these cuts, we're going to use these dollars to assure the raise for police and fire, am I correct?
That is correct. That's where these two numbers came from.
And during the year 2018, if needed, we can always reappropriate to the law department.
Sure. The
If
mayor could send an additional appropriation request to this council at any time, requesting additional dollars for the legal and the law department or settlements. And the other thing that could happen is if you ever had a judge order a settlement, or a court order, not a settlement, a court order, you would have to pay it, whether you wanted a budget, whether you had a budget or not.
So by making this this move, we will stay in line with the advertised budget for the city of East Chicago, correct?
That was the goal during your committee meetings over the last 3 weeks, yes.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Vasquez?
Yes. I voted no against the travel and education item for the council. I too believe that, our salaries are sufficient to cover those expenses. I don't disagree with my colleagues as to what they want to do, but I personally voted no against that issue. So my question is that we want to reduce the law department budget by $527,000, and that includes the 2% for fire and police.
It does.
Correct? Okay. So I would like to make a secondary motion that that amount be reduced to $500,000, to not include the $27,000.
I believe we're already on a motion, though, correct?
There was an amendment to that motion. Correct? Mr. Bauer?
Stephen Bauer, council attorney. Councilman Vasquez can make a motion to amend the motion that's on the floor, takes a second, and takes a vote. If it passes, then the pending motion made by Councilman Garcia would be considered as amended. If it doesn't pass, then the original motion.
And can you explain the motion that Councilwoman Vasquez is?
Yes, that needs to be voted on.
Can you explain it,
Okay, can I?
Well,
Councilwoman Vasquez?
Yeah, let me say this. The $527,000 includes the 2% increase for fire and police, and I am for that. I voted no against the increase for the travel and education. So I'm asking that that be deducted, and that the only amount, the amended amount of $500,000 for the reduction in the legal department. Is that clear?
yes.
Second.
There was a motion on the floor from Councilwoman Vasquez, seconded by Councilwoman Orange for the amended version. Any questions? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Maldonado?
No.
Walker?
Yes.
Vasquez?
Yes.
Garcia?
No.
Orange?
Yes.
Perez?
No.
Medina?
No.
Monroe?
No.
No. Attorney Bauer?
Yes, you're back to the original motion now that's on the floor to reduce the law department budget by $527,000, and that needs to be voted on.
Any questions? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Maldonado?
Yes.
Walker?
No.
Vasquez? No. Garcia?
Yes.
Orange? Perez?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Monroe?
Yes.
Francisco?
Yes.
Ordinance 17-0026, Council Mayor Anthony
No,
Pope.
excuse me, Madam Clerk.
I'm sorry.
Did you have something, Council?
See, I know you had another third motion. We still need to do this third motion.
If you would like to increase the amount that is budgeted in police and fire for the raises that you put in the police and fire salary ordinance that you'll be taking up next, yes, you need to act on the third motion.
Mr. President, I make a motion to add police administration department 203-001, $250,000 in line items entitled wages regular, and add to fire department 02-01-001 and $250,000 in line item entitled wages and regular.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilwoman Maldonado to add Amendment 203001. Any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Maldonado.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes.
Orange. Perez.
Yes.
Medina.
Yes.
Monroe.
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes. Madam Clerk, roll call to adopt ordinance, I'm sorry, Councilman Garcia?
Mr. Dollar, another question I got. If this council zeroes out gaming out this budget, what happens?
Then the mayor would have no appropriation authority to spend any money out of gaming. The revenues would still be receipted to gaming. If the mayor wanted to spend money out of gaming, he'd have to return to this council for additional appropriations at any point in time during the year, and you'd have to approve it.
So any bills that he would like to pay out of gaming, you just have to come before this council, correct?
Correct. Or pay out to something else.
Councilman Garcia?
I'd like to make a motion that we zero out the gaming appropriation out the budget.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilman Monroe to zero out the gaming dollars. Any questions on the motion? Councilwoman Vasquez?
Yes, I just wanted some explanation as to we're zeroing out gaming to use that money for what?
We're not using it. The mayor's gonna use it. When he's gonna use that money, he's gotta come before this council. You know, this council's been asking many questions, you know, where this money is going. Can't get no answers. Let him come before this council, pay any bills he has to, instead of blindly using it and we don't know what's going on.
Councilwoman Maldonado?
Mr. Dalton, can you be a little more clear? The money doesn't go away.
No.
It just, okay, can you please explain that just a little bit
We
further?
receive regular dollars from the state on our gaming, and it will continue to go into the gaming fund. The gaming fund will continue to build up, I think monthly. Val, is that correct? Monthly we get gaming? All this does is take away the ability to spend any money from that fund. So no money could be spent until, or if and until, you approved an additional appropriation request from the mayor requesting specific dollar amounts by specific line amount.
Thank you.
Councilman Medina?
I'd just like to express to my colleagues that I am in favor of this, simply because many a times I'm asked by citizens of the city about programs that are going on in the city, construction, and they ask me, you know, how and where these monies are coming from. And unfortunately, I'm in the blind because many of these projects are done without any input from the 9 of us. And I believe by having it done this way, it will open up some dialogue between the mayor's office and this council. And I believe that we will have an opportunity to have some input on some of the projects that are happening here in our city. You know, a few months ago, I turned the corner to come to this meeting, and Heritage Hall was leveled, which I knew nothing about. And I was embarrassed to have to come here and ask my colleagues what happened. You know, did a bomb fall on it? And fortunately, they filled me in. But yes, the casino dollars will still be here. But at least this will give the opportunity for us 9 council members to express maybe some of the projects that we would like done in our respective districts. It will give the mayor's office, it will afford them an opportunity to come and explain to us exactly what they're doing with those tax dollars. And for that reason, I am totally in support of this.
And let me just say, I think the mayor is doing a great job as far as spending some of the vote money. There's a lot of projects, road projects right now that's going on in my district. I just feel that I wish I would be more at the table or had a little more about, I think my number one concern with my constituents is the lighting. You see all these beautiful streets going up, you know, they're redoing these streets and the sidewalks, and it's a shame we can't have some of this ornamental lighting throughout the city. So I'm going to vote yes on it just because I feel that maybe I have a little more at the table when it's said and done. With that being said, any other questions? Madam Clerk, roll call to adopt ordinance 17-0025 on third and final reading.
Point of order.
I'm sorry.
Voting on the amendment. Zero.
Oh, on the motion, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're on the motion.
Motion to amend.
Maldonado,
Yes.
Walker,
No.
Vasquez,
No.
Garcia,
Yes.
Orange. Perez,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes. Now, Madam Clerk, roll call to adopt ordinance 17-0025 on third and final reading.
As amended. As amended.
Yeah, I'm sorry, the amended version.
Maldonado,
Yes.
Walker,
No.
Vasquez,
No.
Garcia,
Yes.
Orange. Perez,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes. Yes.
Francisco.
Yes. Madam Clerk, next ordinance, please.
17-0026, sponsored Mayor Anthony Copeland, salary ordinance for appointed officers and employees of the city of East Chicago.
So moved, Mr. President.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilwoman Maldonado, to hear ordinance 17-0026 on third reading. Any discussion on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call to adopt ordinance 17-0026 on third and final reading.
Maldonado,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Vasquez,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Perez,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes.
Ordinance 17-0029, sponsor Councilwoman Maldonado, Councilman Medina, Councilman Garcia, and Councilman Perez. An ordinance fixing the salaries of police and fire personnel of the city of East Chicago, Indiana for the year 2018.
So moved in third and final reading, Mr. President.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilman Medina, to hear ordinance 17-0029 on third reading. Any discussion on the motion?
Mr. President.
Councilman Garcia?
It's done. I know in February, the city controller came before this council and said they had $5 million left over from the previous year. Has that been reappropriated?
Have you passed additional appropriations out of the general fund? You may have passed a couple additional appropriations. Hal, have we done any additional appropriations yet this year out of the general fund? I think we did a small one. I don't think anything large.
Nothing that passed last year's budget. So have we went over last year's budget that we voted for?
Yeah, if they brought an additional appropriation to you, then we would have been spending in excess of the budget that you approved, and you would have had to approve any additional expenditures. It hasn't been anything large.
Can we get a dollar amount, how much we got left for that $5 million?
We have more than that $5 million in our reserves now.
Where did the extra money come from?
The extra money comes from having much better than expected tax receipts. Each of the last couple property tax receipts in last December and last June have been better than even our conservative estimates.
Do you anticipate another leftover from the budget?
Yes, what the mayor's budget that he brought to you and when it was advertised has what's called a 16-line statement, and the 16-line statement projects reserves. At the end of 2018, the mayor's budget projected $10 million in reserves.
Is that together with what we have, the $5 million, or that's including the $5 million?
Including the $5 million.
So,
It just keeps adding up inside that fund.
so at the end of the year, we might have $10 million.
Yeah, I think it might be a little less than that at the end of this year, and then at the end of 2018, the projection would be closer to $10 million.
And the reason I say that, because, you know what, there's things that we could do, reference employees. We get fire and police a 2%. There's no reason why the mayor should give also the civil city a raise also. The money's there. There's no issue there. The city's doing good. And there's no reason for the civil city not to get a raise also.
Any other discussion? Councilwoman Orange?
I see both of the chiefs are here, if they had something to say on this ordinance 29.
Good evening, council members. Anthony Serna, Fire Chief.
Frank Smith, Police Chief.
I just want to say thank you for recognizing the hard work of firefighters here in the city, the dedication that they have, your intent for providing a raise for them. I applaud that. I also like to recognize and thank you all. You're all a part of the reason why there are surplus and financial wherewithal to be able to do this. I'm just sitting back and watching some of the things you're doing, but I don't understand some of the things that you're doing, why you're doing what you're doing, but I want to thank you for the fact that you were all part of working with this mayor to get to the point where we're at right now. And I appreciate the decisions that you've made in the past that brought you here to be able to give the raises that you're giving out right now. And I just want to say that I hope that you continue to work together with the vision of this mayor that got us to this point, along with you, for the future.
Also want to say thank you, and I just want to bring up a couple points. First of all, I'm hoping that by the end of the year, I want you to know right now, the mayor, we took a draft of basically where we're at crime-wise for this year. And once again, we're heading toward the 6th year where crime is down. It's close to 5 to 6% right now, but I'll have those totals for you at the end of the year. So I just want this council to know that we're out there fighting and doing our best for the citizens of this community, and we're never going to stop. Just want to debunk a couple of rumors also, in reference to if people said that morale is bad or whatever, things of that nature. Don't believe it. If you want to buy into that, just stop the gossip and it'll stop there. You know, little things like that. We're still working. We're never going to quit trying for this community. We're grateful, we're thankful, and we're never going to give up. We just want you to know. Second point is reference to officers leaving. It's going on across the board. Just left for school in San Antonio, Texas. Same identical problems. They're losing officers. So just want you guys to know it's just not here. It's across the board. Hammond, I know, just lost a couple officers. Different people. It's going on everywhere. There's some communities where I'm reading a book right now. They can't hire officers because nobody wants to reply. So I'm very thankful for the men and women that do this job. I'm very thankful for this council, but I just wanted to let you guys know. Okay, thank you.
Councilman Garcia?
Okay. Chief, since you brought up crime, I know the mayor in the past said crime was down, and then in the second breath he'll say violent crime is up. So is violent crime up?
Right now we don't have the totals, but right now our violent crime is about the same as it was last year, which was down.
So,
Councilwoman Vasquez?
Yes. I've said it before, and I just want to thank you two gentlemen for the work you do and how you work with each one of your departments. And you've always been there to answer questions that this council has had, and I appreciate your hard work. I have a question for Steve Dalton.
Thank you.
I still have a question.
Councilwoman Vasquez. Go ahead, Steve. We'll get to the chief now.
Steve, in this ordinance for salary increases, was a 2% increase included for the fire chief and the police chief?
No, was not. I had not been instructed to change that when we had our committee meeting.
Okay. This time I'd like to make an amended motion to increase the 2%, to add the 2% increase to include the fire chief and the police chief.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Vasquez, seconded by Councilman Perez to amend the motion for the 2% increase for the fire chief and the police chief. Any questions on the motion? Councilman Garcia?
Mr. Dalton, since they both serve at the pleasure of the mayor, could the mayor give them an increase at pay any time?
Well, that's a complicated answer. The mayor has used executive orders to enact quite a few actions without your approval. So I guess I believe that the mayor's tradition has been that he could do so on his own. I'm not sure I agree with him, but I believe that's probably his position.
So if he does it, he's got to do it through executive order.
I would assume so, because you already passed a salary ordinance, so this would be outside of that salary ordinance if you didn't put it in there.
Councilman Perez?
Councilman Garcia, the mayor cannot give them a raise unless he sends it to this council. The police chief and the fire chief, which is why I support they be included, are part of the overall ordinance as a title in that ordinance for the jobs, for the specific job performance. It's a rank within the ordinance. So if we're saying that we have authority over the police and fire budget, that includes the police chiefs and the fire chief.
My question just, since they serve at the pleasure of the mayors.
They serve at the pleasure, but all he can do is that's the only rank, and he can move them, they still stay within, he can move them, within those ranks, but that rank is still part of the ordinance.
Councilman Medina?
Yeah, I believe that respectfully, chiefs, I had an opportunity to work with both of you gentlemen. The consensus of the council was to omit the raise for you gentlemen because of what Robert just said, that you gentlemen work at the pleasure of the mayor. And I guess you could say that we were just assuming that once we passed this for everyone beneath your rank, that he would follow through. If it's now a change that the council wants to go ahead and take that action, then I could support it and not wait around for the mayor to do that. But just so you understand, both you chiefs, that we expected the mayor to go ahead and do that, and respectfully, because you are department heads under his direction, and that's why it was simply omitted. But I do support it, the motion that was just made.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Maldonado?
Yes.
Walker?
Yes.
Vasquez?
Yes.
Garcia?
Yes.
Orange?
Yes.
Perez?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Monroe?
Yes.
Franciski?
Yes. Is there any other questions?
Yeah, I just had one further, please, Chief.
Councilman Garcia?
What was violent crime last year?
I don't have the number in front of me at this time, but I can get it for you.
Yeah, I just hate that.
I'll get it for you.
I believe you. I just hate that you come before us, you say violent crime is down and don't have the stats. I'm a stat guy. I like to see stuff in front of me. If you say something here, this is what it is. I just hate to go on it. But like I said, I know the mayor in the past, in one breath, he say overall crime is down, but violent crime is up. And that's the most violent crime that's going out on the streets. And those are the crimes that my neighbors worry about. The murders, the rapes, everything is going on. So violent crime is a very serious issue in the city.
No question about it. We're concerned about all the crime, especially the violent crime within the city. But we have had a downward trend, and that I can guarantee you.
Thank you, Chief. Madam Clerk, roll call to adopt ordinance 170029 on the amended version on third and final reading.
Maldonado?
Yes.
Walker?
Yes.
Vasquez?
Yes.
Garcia?
Yes.
Orange?
No.
Perez?
Yes.
Yes.
Monroe?
Yes. Yes. Madam Clerk, at this time, do we have any resolutions?
No resolution.
Have any old business? Councilman Garcia?
Yeah, you know what? I know we have the Hamilton Times here, and he quoted one of our council members saying that there was an attempt by our council members to oppose this meeting. That was totally out of line. That's totally unprofessional. That should have never been said. The council person also has absences here. Nobody on this council ever questioned those absences, and totally inappropriate for this council member to make those accusations.
Councilwoman Orange?
I'm in the room, so if you have something, you can direct it totally to me. That was my opinion. It's just, odd for 4 other councilmen to be off when the president said he was leaving out of town. That was my opinion. So whether you think it's appropriate or not, you happen to be my father, so you can't tell me what is and what isn't. So,
Councilman Garcia?
Well, it is inappropriate. There's plenty of things that's gossip to me. There's a lot of gossip in the streets, that's why it is. And if you had a question, you could call any one of us up, but to attempt to...
you have a right to do your duty.
Okay, you know what, I'm gonna stop that right now. Let's just stop it right now. It's just disrespectful to yourselves and us as colleagues. Do we have any new business in the room, please? Moving on to public expression, I believe I do have 2. The first one is Miss Angel Galarski.
Angel Galarski, I'm Secretary of Local 365, and we just want, on behalf of Local 365, all the active members of the fire department and all the pensioners, we would like to say thank you for investing in public safety. Noted since 2010, public safety, police, and fire have received a total of a 3% raise since 2010. Currently, the police and fire departments rank 129th and 130th out of 267 police and fire departments in regards to PERF. So with this increase that passed today, that now places us in 85th and 86th positions. This is a step towards bringing East Chicago back into a position to be competitive in wages and pension benefits in an effort to stop firefighters and police officers from leaving to go to other departments. It also provides a raise for the pensioners of the 37 Act who are tied to the current master firefighter, master police officer salary and don't receive yearly cost of living raises. So you just gave all the pensioners a raise, so thank you for that. That's all.
Thank you. Next, we have Miss Catherine Thomas.
Hi, I'm Catherine Thomas. I live at 3822 Hemlock Street. I'm in the 5th District. Okay. First of all, my comment is about the $27,000 that you guys appropriated for yourself for education and traveling. I've lived in this city for over 30 years, and you know what? I'm about tired of electing people who they got to educate on my watch. We vote for you because we feel that you're going to be there to do a good job for us. You can't learn how to run a city sitting up here if we got to educate you and giving you expense money. There's Google, there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can learn stuff. You got a lawyer sitting over here, you have a finance advisor. $27,000 may not look much to you, but 9 divided into that $27,000, give each one of you $3,000 each. Every one of you got another job besides the job that you got. I heard you say, Robert, that the mayor is not being bluntly about how he's spending the gaming money. But you've been a council person, not this time, but before. I have never seen you put anywhere in our district showing where you spend your $2,500 a month. That $2,500 wasn't appropriated for you guys to use to buy raffle tickets, to buy funeral wreaths, and to buy a little gift to somebody playing basketball or football. That money was given to you to put into community programs in your city. And if you don't know about what the mayor is doing, I blame all of you. Because he is not an alias, just like everybody say. Everybody like to set up here, work together to put this man in that position. So you're going to tell me you can't go over there and knock on those doors and talk and sit down? The council and the mayor are supposed to work together, not apart. And I pray that all of you do better, because people are sick and tired of watching you. You get up, you got 6 to 3 now. I watched it when it was 7 to 2. I watched it when it was 1 against 9. I haven't been to this council meeting over 5 years. And I come back seeing the same old thing where all of you are seeking power, but not thinking about individuals like me and others that live in this city. And I know it's time for me to leave then. And then I'm gone.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. Have a motion to adjourn, please. Motion was made by Councilman Medina, seconded by Councilman Garcia. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Maldonado.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes.
Vaughn. Perez. Medina.
Yes.
Monroe.
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes, meeting adjourned.